Mrs. Rizvi?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Asif Rizvi.
Hi, how are you?
Occupational therapist. Remember we did your initial
yes,
eval?
Yes.
Well, I'm happy you let me do your manual muscle testing because now I'm going to do goniometry measurement for your range of motion.
Okay.
You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so basically last time I just did just to see your active range of motion. I saw there was a little limitation, so I just wanted to get a couple measurements to see, you know, where the limitations might be, and then where in therapy maybe we can do some exercises focusing on those specific muscles and joints that we could, work on. Alright? Is that okay with you?
Yes.
So I'll be demonstrating everything I want you to do, and then I'll take your measurements. So we're going to be focusing primarily on your shoulder, elbow, and a little bit of your forearm. Okay? So we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to check something called shoulder flexion and extension. So what I'm going to ask you to do is you can practice with me if you want to look at me. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just ask you to put your arm all the way up like this, as high as you can go. Hold it, and then come on back down. And then if you want to scooch up in your chair a little bit. Very nice. Thank you so much. And then as far back as you can. Very good. That's shoulder extension. And you're going to come back to the middle, which we call neutral. So my goniometer, I have a digital goniometer, so it's going to get a number reading. Usually for the norms for this is shoulder flexion can go up to 170, 180 degrees, and shoulder extension should be back to 60 to 65. Those are just norms. Everybody's different, but that's just the norms. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting this, my axis of my digital goniometer, on your lateral acromion. And both my movable arm that I'll be moving and my stationary arm, which is stable, is going to stay still, is going to be parallel to begin with. But then, once I move it, my movable arm is going to move with your humerus. And then my stationary arm is going to be in line with your trunk. All right?
Okay.
Sounds fun, right? You're going to be an OT after all this, huh?
Yeah.
All right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe not?
Yes.
All right, so just bring your arm all the way up as high as you can. Very nice. Thank you so much. And I'm following your humerus. And my digital goniometer says that you are 113.4 degrees of shoulder flexion. Very good. Come on all the way back. All right, and I want you to do the same thing except going backwards. All right, as far as you can. Very nice. All right. And for shoulder extension, you are 31.2 degrees. Thank you so much. How are you feeling? Do you need any water or anything?
No, it's okay. I'm okay.
Okay. The next thing I'm going to be doing is shoulder abduction and adduction. So normal ranges for this should be 0 to 180, and then from 180 back down to 0. So basically, you're going to be making something what we call sun circles. So if you want to look at me, you're going to be moving your arm all the way up, hold it, and come all the way down. And I'm going to be in front of you. I'm going to put my axis of my goniometer right on your anterior acromion. And then my stationary arm is going to be in line with your sternum. It's not going to move. And my movable arm is going to be moving with your humerus as it goes up. So, if you want to get loose for me, get loose. I love your dress, Mrs. Rizvi.
Thank you.
It looks like, did your son buy that for you or something?
Yes, that was my Mother's Day present.
Mother's Day present. That is very marvelous. Excellent son. Hopefully he has more presents to buy for you one day.
I forgot.
He forgot? No. All right, well, move your arm all the way up. Keeping it in line. Okay. So for shoulder abduction, you are 138.3 degrees. And if you move it all the way back down, you reached all the way to 0. So 138 back down to 0 for shoulder abduction and then adduction. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be doing is called horizontal ab and adduction. So this is a little tricky. If you look at me, you got to keep just with your right arm, sorry about that, keep your elbow at 90 degrees. I'm going to move you a little bit. Get loose for me. Keep it like that. And what I'm going to ask you to do is just move your shoulder inwards. And as you move your shoulder inwards, everything moves in with you. You see that? Yeah. Feel any pain? A little pain? Okay. I'll be mindful of that. And we're going to do the same thing, but going backwards. Just move your shoulder back as far as you can. Okay? Okay? So you can get loose, take a little break for a second. You said you're expressing pain. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my goniometer on the superior acromion over here, and my movable and stationary arm are going to be parallel again. And as you move your shoulder for internal rotation, for horizontal adduction, the movable arm is going to be following your humerus. And the stationary arm is just going to still be parallel with the floor, and it's going to do the same thing. The movable arm is going to move with your humerus when you're doing horizontal abduction. All right? Any pain? You feeling?
No, it's okay.
What's your pain from a scale of 0 to 10?
That's like 2 or 3.
2 or 3 right now? Did you take your any type of medication this morning?
No.
Not yet? All right. Well, I'll get the nurse and we'll get some medications going. We just have a couple more tests to go. All right. So you put your elbow up like that. I'm putting my goniometer on axis right on your acromion, and I want you to move in just like how I said. So my stationary arm is staying parallel with the floor, and my movable arm is now moving with your humerus. All right, very nice. Thank you so much. So my digital goniometer says that you're 50.7. Excellent. Come on back to the starting position. Come on back to the starting position. Excellent. And now move as far back as you can. As far back as you can. Can you try that one more time from the start? Can you just move as far back? Get loose. Yeah, start from right there and move as far back as you can. Okay. I'm moving this. Okay, perfect. So you are at 14.7. Okay, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Take a little break. Just shrug your shoulders a little bit. Just rest it out. You do that? Very nice. Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, ready.
You want to check your pulse ox quickly?
It's okay. Yeah, we get in.
Yeah, let me check your pulse ox. 96. All right,
Good.
you're doing good. Do you want any water or anything?
No, it's okay. I'm okay.
Okay. We only have a few more to go. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is called internal and external rotation. So if you keep your hand like this, keep your elbows into your side, keep your elbow tucked in right here, a little bit. Mrs. Risby, I love the effort you're putting in. See, look at my arm. Just like that. Keep your shoulders down a little bit because you're putting a lot of pressure on your shoulder. Yep, exactly. Perfect. Now what you're going to do is this is actually moving your shoulder. So you're going to move in like this. Watch me. Check in. Like that. Try that out. Internal rotation. Come on back. Stop. Move as far out as you can. External rotation. All right. Very good. All right. Very good. So I'm going to measure that. So what I'm going to be doing is this time I'm going to put the goniometer underneath your arm, underneath your elbow. The axis is going to be on your olecranon process, and my stationary movable arm will be on top of each other. The movable arm is going to be following your forearm, primarily the ulna. All right. All right. So that's what I want you to move in when you're ready. All right. Very good. Ulna. Okay, so you're at 49.6. Okay, come on back. Keep your elbow in. Let's do the right on your olecranon. All right, now move out. Excellent. You're doing a great job, Mrs. Risby. Excellent. Following your ulna. Okay, very nice. And you are at 75.9. All right. Usually for internal and external, it kind of ranges from 70 to 90, but those are just, norm, so don't worry about that. So we did shoulder flexion, extension, ab and abduction, horizontal ab and abduction, internal and external rotation of the shoulder. The last one, second to last one actually, is the elbow, the famous elbow, right? Can't forget about the elbow. So if you keep your arm straight down, what I'm going to ask you to do is keep your arm like this and move all the way up as high as you can until you feel that muscle. See that right there? You feel that. It stops. Yeah. It's a soft end feel. It's going to all the way down and all the way up. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stationary arm right in line with your humerus. This is your humerus right here. So I'm going to be putting that, and then my axis is going to be, you see this little bump right here? Mm-hmm. This is your lateral epicondyle. So I'm going to be putting my my axis right on them. And when I ask you to move up, you are going to do that same thing, elbow flexion. So go. As you can. Very nice. Thank you, Mrs. Risby. And I am following the forearm, primarily the radial surface of it, which is your thumb side. All right. So you are at 135 degrees for that, which is the norm, because you can't do 180 degrees for shoulder flexion, for elbow flexion, because of the bicep muscle. And I saw you moved all the way back down, so that's 0 degrees. So you went from 135 all the way down to 0. Very good. All right. The last thing I'm going to do, you see this little guy? Mm-hmm. He's so annoying. You know what I mean? And he's not digital. This guy makes OT's life a living heck.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to be checking something called supination pronation. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to put your palm up and come back to neutral. Put your palm down. All right. Put your palm up. All right. All right. Palm up. All right. So what I'm going to be doing over here, I'm going to be right on the ulnar surface, the ulnar styloid. See these little bones right here? They all have names. Somebody took a lot of time to name everything here. All right. So put your palm. And this is my movable and stationary arm is going to be basically in line with your humerus to start off with. So put your palm down. So go like this, put your palm down. Very nice. Okay. Excellent. Okay, come on back up. And then you come on this side and put your palm up. Now we're coming back. Okay. Put your palm down. Put your palm up, I mean. Put your palm up. Put your palm up. Okay, very good. Okay, Mrs. Risby. You did a great job. How are you feeling?
Thank you.
You feeling okay?
Yes.
Huh? You want some water?
No, it's okay.
Can I check your pulse ox quickly? Okay, still at 96. I think the PT is probably going to be coming in to do some exercises with you later. And I don't know, maybe this might be the last time we meet, probably not. But I'm definitely going to put your numbers and everything in our database. And we're going to definitely get to work.
Okay.
You're an excellent patient.
Thank you.
And you possibly have a great son with a great fashion sense. Excellent sit to stand. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Risby.
Okay. You're welcome.